Yeah, okay, so we're going. We'll go ahead and make sure it's working. Cool. I just had to reconnect it. That was weird. Anyways, we're getting through, right? So you're actually looking at what I was showing last time, but we are actually going to change what I'm showing you. We're going to have to do a little jumping around due to X being weird. But let me go ahead and do properties. Switch this over to my Firefox window. That's it. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Let's see if I can try to make this a little bit bigger for you. Uh, for those of you watching out there. So, all right, what we're doing today is using a triple agent system. That's what I'm going to call it. There's actually a technical term for it, but I don't care. Basically, what this is going to do is have one agent, so one AI is going to go in and do development, and then another one's going to be the one checking that one's work, and then the third one's going to be doing another kind of development, right? And they'll just continue to do different jobs together until eventually a piece of software is made. Normally, you would have to do this in the cloud because you need a lot of resources. But because I'm doing this at a small scale and just kind of playing with it, learning how to do this, I can just do it on the server right here. So it'll be all right. It's not going to be like super powerful or anything, obviously, but it'll be enough to where I can learn. If I really wanted to, I could do a cluster of both servers, but I'm not going to do that. Excuse me, I'm not going to do that. Okay, I don't really need to do that. I already did that. Now we're just gonna do a test. No, that's right. I do have to do that because it's still running the process. So we'll go up here. I forgot that was the last thing I was doing. Um, I thought it was farther along than that in my own brain. Because yeah. Anyways, as you'll see here, it killed the process. And then that's plenty fine. This is actually a 64 gigabytes of RAM plus 64 gigabytes of VRAM. So what it's doing basically, for every let's say megabyte of RAM, it's functioning as two via compression. So yeah, for things like what we're doing, it actually makes sense. We'll go ahead and do this. Now we'll go ahead and see if I can hit it. Yeah, it said terminated, so I take it that's not good. Because, okay, this is obviously being used wrong. Because if it came out and did this right away, there might be a log. Let's see. Swarm.log. Yeah, we need this, because this obviously didn't run appropriately. But if we can get a log, we can then feed it over and let it know that's what happened. I need more to drink. Oh my god. Um, okay, so it says that's fine. It says it's running. I've never done this before, so we'll go ahead and do is open up our terminal, open up a new window, right? Because this one is actually the server. This one's the laptop I'm on right now. So what we'll call this is AI front end. This is just Python or was it Python or Bash? Yeah, this is Python. Um, okay, just like that. And then now we just give them different jobs, right? What I'd love to do is for the more advanced version of this, have its own AI that actually spits out the instructions for the others. That's actually something I might try to do right now after I get this working, because that'll be fun, right? Because then I can literally just stand up, walk away, and then do everything. That is the way the world of AI is going. And I think a lot of people don't even recognize that. And I'm like, we are way past the point of just AI doing the development itself. We're far past that. It's not even like that's old news now. So, all right. So we have architect, coder. I don't know. We need to come up with some type of application. I don't know. Let's see. We could do great example. Define mission objective, creating an GTK3 based general IDE alternative to VS Code with full extension support. All right, and then we'll go ahead and do the architect. So the one overall designing it. This must, oh, that's just for the output. Cool. So that's all I have to do. Let's see if it starts working. Is it even going to show? That's the real question. I don't know if I actually believe it's running. That's the thing, right? Like, it does sound louder. I'm not going to lie. Like, significantly louder. Let's see how I can check if it's working or not. 'Cause again, I'm still learning on this, so if you're wondering what model it's using Quinn 32B. That's what it's using on the server. So well, I guess I could just use HTOP early, right? Because if it's running, it will show that plenty of stuff's running. So we'll go ahead and log in. Wrong machine. We'll do this. Oh yeah, I gotta specify the port, and then we'll do HTOP. Yep, it's going. Oh my god, I did it. I feel like oh my god, that's freaking cool. I know. You're probably excited. And I know I'm more excited probably than you are. So what I showed you earlier about the 64 gigs, I forgot I set this up. The ZRAM is actually set up for 566 on this one. I'm kind of at like the maximum each of the servers can do. That one in there is set to over a terabyte for ZRAM, but this one's set for half a terabyte. If we get any farther than what they're set to, basically they're just going to start crashing is what's going to happen, because the CPUs can barely keep up with the limits that these are on. And just the reality is the amount of processing it has to do is insane as it is. So, yeah, I'm so happy this is working now. Let's see if it's actually going to show anything on the front end, though. I noticed, yeah. I'm going to have to fix this GUI, obviously. Obviously, the GUI is not fully working, but it does say it's working down here. And we can just monitor it here, like I said. So, yeah. This is so cool. Oh my god. I have never, ever felt this cool in my life. Uh, this gets me going, this type of stuff. I really enjoyed networking for the longest time, and this is one way to get it going. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. Let me swap this over and show you a little application. It's pretty sick. I gotta give myself credit on this one. All right. Look at this. Right. Let's see. Is there any way I can do? All right. I don't care if I'm over it a little bit. But if you look here, right? All I literally did was have to tell it what I wanted to do. I hit launch swarm, and then down here it says it's going. Just to verify and prove to you that it's going, I can. Actually, let's do this. So we can watch both at the same time. We'll do that. We'll then proceed to do. Where is my terminal window? That's it. Okay. So as you can see here, yeah, all cores are pegged to the absolute max on this one. So, yeah. We can just do that, right? And we just wait. We just wait until it's done. That's all we can do now. Yeah, if I can get the word that's working, well, this way, then give me a second, I'll show you. Ow. I have to get an adapter card, but I know how to jerry rig it to make this will work. Yeah, this is a Tesla K80, an older card, but it has 24 gigabytes of GDDR5. And then this is just my RK770 from my old machine. What I want to do is use like a generic VA API driver, and then use both. Um, and I could use a VRAM from both, because then I'd have 40 there, plus whatever we offload the actual RAM, which then that'll fall back further to, again, the ZRAM, so we'll never run out of what we need. It'll significantly slow down, yeah, absolutely, but that's totally fine. It's not like we're on a schedule. It's not like we're in a data center. But yeah, I mean, yeah, again, we're just waiting, so this is gonna be a while, I have a feeling, so um, yeah. I told Dad if we could like, I don't know, because my biggest thing, okay, I have the adapter for it, but this connector on the end right here, that's not a traditional 8 port. It's actually wired differently. Um, so you have to use a proprietary connector, but then it goes out into 2.8. So think of it like a double in the same connector or similar connector. But anyways, so I just have to get that plugged in, and then I have a power supply. I think in that box down there, plenty powerful enough for it. It's platinum rated, so I'm not worried about power efficiency. My biggest thing is I don't want to wreck our power bill because that pulls a lot of power, and having two GPUs in the system would be even worse. Um, Plus, there are two slots in here, I believe, for GPUs, but I'm gonna have to have fun mounting them. They do have like two rail areas where you slide it in, but I don't know how I feel about messing with that right now. Because, okay, that server has that's an actual server, right? It's not like a workstation that's been repurposed. So it has two of the actual enterprise power supplies. But by doing that, it doesn't have traditional cabling like a normal power supply would. So that means I would have to find a way to make it where it won't have problems if I hook up a second one, no, this would be a third one to it, or I'd have to find a way to be able to get that to work, because obviously on that card it's not made in such a way where I can only run off the PCIe slot or so um, if you ever have any ideas, jump on our Discord and let me know. I'll talk to Dad more, figure out what a great idea is for that, because I do want to use it like really bad. Because it would be so cool to be able to run my own AI models rather than have to pay every month for like capped usage. I guess it's not really capped for me because I pay for Copilot. It's like $10 a month. But what it is, like the premium models, right? Those are capped pretty significantly. You only get unlimited access to the smaller models, usually the mini models, or like GPT 4.1 or Grok Fast or Code or whatever. And by having something like that, it allows you to run things like Qwen and other things out of VRAM. So, and again, like I said, it's GDDR5, but whenever you're just at home doing stuff, you don't need GDDR6 or GDDR7. Not realistically. Um, Plus, like this server and the one in there, they're not even remotely new enough to even take advantage of resizable bar. So It doesn't even matter. Like, whenever I put the RK770 in there too, because I'm going to use it essentially as a cache, um, it's going to be bottlenecked off the flight. Because that card technically requires resizable bar. Because right, if you don't know what resizable bar is, it uses the ability for above 4G decoding, right? Which makes it where you can actually use more than 4 gigabytes of the VRAM at a time. The resizable bar allows you to adjust that. So with these being older platforms, they just don't have that ability. As if you didn't know, the consumer platform is actually based off of the enterprise platform. So, yeah. Anyways, like these will be obviously not fully utilized, but there's not really another great alternative. So, whenever we were looking at getting a server, right, it was a lot more expensive to get something more modern. We got this one for like $80, like 100, something like that, $80 to $100. I don't remember the exact amount. I think that's about right. And then Dad and I swapped because I wanted a real server, and he was cool with the one on there. So we were happy with that. Let's see. Why am I so tired? Oh my god. Oh, so tired. Gosh. If you look here, right, in here, it actually shows what's running. So we'll try to make this a little bigger. And you can see like the actual process. Right now it's doing a SHA. Why is why is it doing that? That's what I want to know. Well, I think I'm gonna end this stream, but I'm gonna leave it running in the background. Whenever this gets done, I might start the stream again. It's just like we're just gonna sit here for hours while this goes if we keep doing this. So